Today's adventure takes us to Valdez, Alaska, where Gary and Carol are joining 5 other passengers aboard the Lulu Belle, headed out of the Valdez harbor through Valdez Arm, and ultimately, the face of the Columbia Glacier. Valdez is known by many as the terminus of the Trans-Alaska Oil Pipeline.
They come to the surface, they lay on their back like these guys were doing.
As we make our way into Valdez Arm, a raft of sea otters is spotted off our starboard or right side of the boat. The sea otters don't seem to mind as they play in the water as the boat passes by.
There she is. Just watch for tail, watch for tail. Can't get it on, maybe.
A humpback and her calf follow the boat for a short distance. Waterfalls are plentiful along the shoreline. Those aboard the Lulu Belle stand on deck to view the sights. Many sea lions can be seen lining the shore as we pass by. Among the sea lions are youngsters who jest with each other in play that will someday become important in defending territory. The Lulu Belle is such a small boat, it can get into nooks and crannies that other vessels cannot, as Captain Fred demonstrated on a number of occasions. The closer to Columbia Glacier, the more ice is spotted in the water. Many of the otters use the ice as a safe resting place. The ice in the water is categorized as growlers, berry bits, and behemoths. Evidence of all 3 are seen. Growlers are less than 3 feet tall and 15 feet across. Berry bits are up to the size of a small cottage. The behemoths are icebergs extending more than 16 feet above the water surface, but what is seen on the surface is only a very small portion of the iceberg itself. As we pass Elf Point, the approach into Columbia Bay begins. As the approach to Columbia Glacier continues, the ice becomes thicker. The icebergs that you see were once part of the glacier itself, but have since caved and fallen into the ocean. Columbia Glacier can now be seen in the distance. This glacier is a tidewater glacier which flows directly into the sea. At one point in time, Columbia Glacier stretched across the entire Columbia Bay. However, as the glacier receded, it became divided by what is now called the Columbia Bay. Even though the Columbia Glacier had a catastrophic retreat since 1982, it is still massive in size. The face of the glacier where the Lulu Bell will travel is 200 to 400 feet tall. The entire glacier covers some 400 square miles in length. Captain Fred takes a very slow approach to the glacier, avoiding the large ice. Many theories abound as to why this glacier made such a sudden and dramatic retreat since 1982. Captain Fred shared that during the 1964 earthquake, which registered a 9.2 on the Richter scale, and lasted for 4 minutes, caused a split in the Columbia Glacier. This split allowed water to seep, in causing extensive and sudden calving of the glacier. This is a fairly active glacier, and as we approach its face, the water becomes increasingly choked with ice. These chunks of ice that have calved are called the ice melange. The melange varies in size and thickness directly depending on the amount of ice that has calved from the glacier. While we do not observe any major calving today, massive ice chunks showing a deep blue color gives evidence that calving has occurred recently. As this adventure comes to a close, and the Lulu Bell begins on its journey back to Valdez, it leaves memories of a lifetime for those on board. On the trip back to port, Coastal mountain goats can be seen on the mountains near shore. Until next time, may your dreams become your adventures.